What's poppin', world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and click that bell so you get a notification every time I post a video and every time I go live. Let's get into this. Today, we're going to watch a video of a part of a sermon that Devon did, talking about or explaining to women how or let's just say explaining to a church congregation how women don't need men and trying to use the Bible to justify his point. Let's get into this.
But you don't hear Eve coming into the earth saying, "Where's my man?" Huh? Am I reading it right? It says the man said. Eve came into the earth. Watch this. Adam was the one who was broken. Eve came into the earth whole. She had both ribs. Society wants women to believe you're broken if you're not with somebody. But God says the woman came into the earth complete, not seeking or needing anyone or anything. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but you got to stand in your power. You are one of one. There's nothing wrong with you if you're not with somebody. You as a woman are complete. You're whole. And I got to say it because I'm tired of us supporting a culture that tries to make women think there's something wrong with them if they're not married. It's just not true.
Touch this with all.
All right, guys. So you saw that, you heard that. So that's his pitch. He said that the man was broken, right? And he's kind of aiming at the rib, right? Because God made woman out of man's rib. Here's where he dropped the ball at, right? In Genesis 2:18, right? When it's talking about no man should be alone. God made Eve out of Adam's rib, right? But here's the thing. He made Eve to be Adam's helpmate, right? God made woman to be the man's helpmate, right? It's not like the guy already had a missing rib. He didn't already have a missing rib. God did that to create the woman, and they would become one. God did that so that he can create the woman. The way he tried to explain it is as if the guy or Adam already had a missing rib. He was broken. No, he was broken so that God could make a woman out of the man's rib, right? So he dropped the ball in that whole scripture. And again, the woman was created to be the man's helpmate. The woman was created to be the man's helpmate. Now he's trying to say the woman came in whole. She doesn't need a man. She doesn't need anything. All this other stuff, right? He's telling the women, right? And more than likely this is in a black church, that they are whole. They don't need a man. They don't need to be married. All this other stuff. And of course you can hear the women in the background clapping. Now when I heard this, or when I seen this clip, I was on fire. As a man of God, I was on fire because he's pushing this agenda, right? That women, the black or women, let's just say women don't need a man. Now, since post 1960s, what has that done for the black community? Women going their own way. What has that done for the black community or to the black community, right? That has destroyed the black community. Single-handedly, that has destroyed the black community, right? That has destroyed the black community. Now, anytime you have a lot of unmarried or single women out here, guess who has to take care of them? The group, right? Whether that be the men in the family or other women in the family. Whenever that woman is single or without a husband, the group has to take care of her. Even if you look at the numbers on government assistance, right? Most of those are single women, unmarried women on government assistance, right? Meaning the group has to come in and take care of them. Who are the most vulnerable people in the world? Women and children. I'm going to say it again. Who are the most vulnerable children in the world? I'm sorry, people in the world. Women and children. They need protection, right? And that's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. They need protection. Are there several women out here who are single, unmarried, and doing well? Sure. But they still need men in some way, shape, or form. If something happens, right? They have to call the police. Where in the world are there police precincts and police forces that have predominantly or is predominantly full of women? I haven't found any. Where are the ones that are full of women? I haven't found any. Right? I haven't found any. Where are the fire departments that are full of women? I haven't found any. Where are the large groups of women who are building infrastructures and buildings and the streets and everything that we got going on in the world? Where are the large groups of women who are building those things? I haven't found any. You might have one here or there, but they're not in large groups. Men built this world. Men built this world. But even outside of that, right? Even if we're talking in regards to relationships and marriage, whenever a woman is single or without a husband or without a man, the group has to take care of her, even if it's a man within her family. And he's pushing this to a congregation, more than likely, that's full of women, right? He's pandering to these women so he can get that money, get that tithe and offering money. That's all he's doing. He wants that tithe and offering money. This goes on in a lot of black churches, right? Many men. That's why many men have left the church alone, but especially the black church. If you walk into majority of the black churches out here, you will not see many men. You'll see, there'll be some men in there, but you won't see many. You're going to see way more women. You're going to see less families. A family may consist of a woman and her kids, but the men have left because of guys like this, right? This guy is an idiot, right? I'm glad Megan Good left him after seeing this. I'm glad, because I take this as an insult, right? As a man of God, seeing this pisses me off to see someone pushing this rhetoric, right? What about 1 Corinthians 11:3 that says the head of every woman is a man? What about Ephesians 5:22 through 23, right? That says that, or telling the wives to submit to their husbands, right? All throughout the Bible, there are illustrations and depictions of a man or the men leading the women and the children. You don't see a woman standing alone and just doing her thing for God. You don't see that. And God isn't telling women to do that, right? Is it meant for every woman out here to be married? No. Sure, there's more free women out here than men. Sure. But to the extent that we're doing it in this day and age, to where you got women who could possibly make good wives choosing not to because they want to be independent, or they want to live out this agenda and they want to do this and they want to do that. It's insane. He's telling these women that they don't need men. That's like telling children or people in general, you don't need to eat fruits and vegetables. You don't need to drink water. You don't need to drink milk. You don't need none of that. You'll be fine. Sure, you can make an argument for it, but someone living that type of lifestyle is going to have many deficiencies, right? Whether that's early in life or later in life. But someone who doesn't, like I say, drink water, eat fruits, vegetables, whatever, sure, you can make an argument that they can survive off of juice and soda and snacks and junk food. But they're going to have many deficiencies in life, just like many women who choose not to bond with a man. They have issues in their life, and it trickles down to the children, right? Look at the numbers. Look at the inmates. Look at the households they come from. right? They lack fathers. Most of them lack fathers. Most of them lack a father in the home. You can do these, you can have these alternative lifestyles, but it's going to show up at some point or another in life. This guy's tripping. He's way off, especially pushing this on God's people, quote unquote. He is off by pushing this on God's people, right? He is misusing the Bible, and he's pushing this agenda that's tearing this world apart, right? Separating the men and the women. It's tearing this world apart, tearing these families apart. The kids are suffering. The women are suffering. And of course, there are men that are suffering too, don't get me wrong. But this agenda that he's pushing is trash and it's hogwash. It is trash and it is hogwash. And it has destroyed the black community for many years. This guy is an idiot. He is an idiot. And he is not a true man of God pushing that rhetoric. I don't care what anyone says. But that's all I got for you guys. Like this video. Share this video. Leave a comment in the comment section. I could be off. Also subscribe to the YouTube. Let's keep growing. But that's all I got for you guys. And remember, keep God first. Don't be like this fool. Keep God first. I love you all. Be blessed.